It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
It is Buffalo Bills at the Chiefs week, and we're fired up here at Lake TV. Uncle Chris especially, he wins the pick'em for the third straight week, starting to run away a little bit. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some local headlines. One fish lands a man from Illinois $100,000.
How about that? Wow, that's
this
cool.
spring it needs to be us.
You and me out on the fishing boat, baby.
You and me, baby.
Yeah.
Fishing,
Yeah.
reeling it in.
There might be a beverage or two involved. I don't know.
That would be a lot more than one or two involved, probably for you if you have to be out in a fishing boat with me all day long. Man, so what a great weekend, and it's going to be another good week here at the lake. We told you the Big Bass Bash, and that is officially in the books, the 2021 AFTCO Fall Big Bass Bash presented by Phoenix Boats is done. Anglers from across the country converged at the Lake of the Ozarks and new this time Truman Lake to take their shot at some of the $225,000 that were guaranteed in cash and prizes. The big winner, Jim Morrison of O'Fallon, Illinois, held on to his first day lead, and he ended up winning it all. This photo right here from the Anglers in Action Facebook page.
Wasn't Jim Morrison the lead singer of the Doors?
Might have been. That's well before my time.
Hey, there you go.
You're looking at Ricky. Did Andrew know?
Andrew did know, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Andrew, he's an old soul, man.
Yeah.
He's an old soul. So listen, he had a 7.1 pound bass.
Wow.
And he caught it on a 7-inch bone-colored pencil popper.
Whatever that
means.
Yeah.
At 9:58 on Saturday morning. Now the statement from Anglers in Action said, we want to thank all the anglers, all the sponsors, our host lodging, local supporters, our amazing staff, and everyone else that helped make this event possible. They're going to have the full results later this week with payouts, photo gallery, etc. on their website, which you can see right there on your screen. Man, such a cool event. And another thing that this event does, Chris, is it brings so many people down to Lake of the Ozarks.
It was great. You know, I mean, we live on the water, so we were sitting seeing the fishing boats, you know, all weekend, just flying in and out looking for those fish. And I actually caught a big one, really big, but it didn't register, so I couldn't take it in and officially win.
Yeah, always should have, could have, would have, if only with this guy.
I mean, that sucker was, you know, had to be that big.
Yeah. Right. So we talked about here recently, city administrator Dave Van D is set to retire, and so they're looking for his replacement. Now, you'll remember there was a lot of riffraff about this because Dave Van D, as well as the Board of Aldermen, really wanted current Assistant City Administrator and City Development Economic Development Coordinator Harrison Fry to be a shoo-in. That was kind of what they felt like the deal was upon his hiring. Actually, they spent $22,000 with the firm that found him, and new mayor, Lake Ozark Mayor Dennis Newberry, thought they should be a little more diligent and they should search. They did get fight back initially before he created a committee with some aldermen and some business leaders, and they opened that search, and it looks like we've actually got an update from Dennis Newberry, Mayor Dennis Newberry, and this came from his website, Explore Lake Ozark, I believe, correct?
Yeah, just sent it out to kind of update everybody because there was that big fight, between the mayor and the aldermen and stuff like that. And Mayor said, hey, we're going to go look and make sure we've got the right candidate here.
Which
and
is
I give
a
him props
no-brainer.
for that. Absolutely. Good.
Yeah.
So he put out this statement saying, I believe the filling of the soon-to-be vacant city administrator position is one of the most critical tasks before me. So he kind of let us know why he went to the wall for this one. He said, this position is the single most important position in our city government, and because of that, we need a rich pool of candidates to choose from. Our advertising expenses, that was one of the big things. The big blow up from the alderman is, we don't want to spend the money to go out and look.
Right.
He said the total expenses for just opening this back up, $600, right? Nothing. So he says it was well worth it. We received 18 applicants. One of the Board of Aldermen's points of contention was that they had paid that $22,000 to find Harrison Fry. It sounds like that was kind of a good waste of money. But so anyway, they've whittled it down from those 18 candidates to 4. Okay, so the mayor says we've invited the four applicants, including our current city administrator, economic development coordinator, Harrison Fry. So he's still in the mix. He will be the fifth guy that they interview, and they'll do that probably this week, I'm guessing. And then and the mayor says, I'll keep you updated on who the committee selects as my appointment for this very important position. So remember, he put a committee together. It's not just the mayor making the decision, it's the committee with some of those aldermen, I think, that were against this,
right,
making that decision too. So I give him props. I mean, and maybe Harrison Fry is the right guy. You know, I've met him one time, seems like a nice guy. You know, if he's the right guy, great, you know, go to it. But when, you know, politics is dirty.
Yeah.
And when you become the new mayor and you're trying to clean things up, you don't want to just throw in somebody that was, you know, in there before. You want to make sure he's got your same vision and everything else. So props to the mayor.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he handled this situation about perfectly. Not only did he say maybe he did not tell the Board of Aldermen this guy isn't the right guy, he said let's be diligent, let's be thorough, and let's give our constituents, let's give the city of Lake Ozark the person that is best fit for this job. And it looks like, and like you said, it could end up being Harrison, and if that's the case, great. But man, great job by Mayor Dennis Newberry.
And $600, I mean, that's nothing. You know, I mean, to make sure you got the right guy, and for the mayor to make sure the guy who is in that position has his same vision.
It's kind of, it kind of just reiterates some of the gripes and some of the fight back that he got from the Board of Aldermen, and some of the reasons, well, they may not have been real justified for the reason for wanting to just shoot in Harrison. But so we'll keep you updated. We are looking forward to, if this week, next week, or whenever we find that out, we will make sure to keep you guys posted right here on Cup of Coffee. Okay, our next story. The Camden Sheriff's Office Supervisor was awarded by the Department of Defense for supporting deployed guardsmen. Pretty cool headline. What can you tell me about this?
Okay, so Camden County Sheriff's Office, offered by the Department of Expense. The award is for extraordinary support of employees who serve in the National Guard and the Reserve, all right? Kind of a cool award that you never really think of. The Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. There's actually, you know, a acronym for that, ESGR. That's an agency of the Department of Defense, announced that Captain Brian Vinson of Detention Facility Supervisor, honored with one of these ESGR Patriot Awards, comes in recognition of extraordinary support of their employees and the family members of those who serve in the National Guard and Reserve. And how, you know, and again, those guys a lot of time fly under the radar, those men and women, so it's nice to see awards like this handed out, and that's why we're talking about it, because that's very important. So the award was presented during a special ceremony at the Sheriff's Office September 21st. Congratulations.
Congratulations, and yeah, anytime you talk about the National Guard and the Reserves, think of our own Ross Reinhardt, you know, who is currently out of state. He's awesome. And so I loved seeing that award. Made me think of our buddy Ross. And so if you're watching, thank you for your service, my friend.
Ross just got married, didn't he?
Yeah. Just about a year ago, got married, maybe even more recently. So been a good year for a lot of us here around Lake TV. All right, now this one was cool. I like seeing this headline. We've covered this topic a lot. We've offered some insight. We've offered some opinions. We've gotten some fight back. But Camden County leaders push back against Biden vaccine mandate, and they emphasize the individual freedom and its importance.
Yeah, and it is huge. I mean, that is probably the biggest. One of the biggest questions in our country today is, where are we going? Are we going toward socialism? Are we going toward big government telling the people what they have to do? Or are we still going to be a country of freedoms, right? So Biden recently came out with those mandates for getting the jab, getting the vaccination. Elected officials in Camden County, which is the most populous county in the Lake area, calling Biden's announcement of vaccine mandates an overreach, right? And they're emphasizing the county's preference towards individual freedom. County commissioners say they had an emergency closed session meeting right after Biden's announcement of these things, and there were no votes taken in the session, but the presiding commissioner said the commission is looking into the legal course and direction that we're going to take regarding this administrative overreach of the executive branch. So they're fighting it, which I'm thankful for. That's one of the reasons why I love living in this part of the country. So we still have that grassroots feel to us. We still love and want our freedoms.
Yeah, and it does appear that there's more and more that continues to come out, and more questions can be raised. And as you and I, over the last 6-7 months have felt a lot of things that we're now seeing are coming to fruition between the CDC, local doctors that are resigning or being forced to resign over these mandates. And Chris, I mean, it's kind of scary because you almost think this is out of a movie, where we are now. And that is the question you brought up, is are we headed towards socialism? Are we headed towards not having our freedoms, our liberties? And, a couple of years ago on the front end of this, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy to raise those questions. But here we sit towards the end of 2021, and I think those are very realistic and very scary questions that need to be asked. But here, as far as Camden County, they say, nope, it's an overreach. We are ready and going to be prepared to fight this overreach by the federal government. And like you said, it's why we love being here at the lake.
Absolutely.
We love the blue collar. We love the people that have been here and who want to hold on to those liberties, to those freedoms, and still believe in that true patriotism of what it means to be an American and stay true to those values. And, it's a lot different now than it was when you were growing up or my dad was growing up, and even when I was a kid. So as scary as it is, this is something to be encouraged about, that our local elected leaders and officials are speaking on our behalf and on the things that are important to us.
Yeah, and same thing like with the Second Amendment gun rights. There's been a big push from the Biden administration and those folks to get your guns, right? Yeah. And locally, and I think statewide, but certainly locally, there's been pushback against that, what they call it, a gun sanctuary counties and stuff like that, where supposedly the federal government can't come get your guns. Now, of course, if the federal government wants to do something, they might still try.
Right.
So it's interesting. We're in an interesting point in our nation's history, and where we go from here is going to be amazing. It really is spooky.
It is indeed. One of the cool things is, though, even in all of that, still get to enjoy some football. High school level.
That's right.
Osage, man, after a 2-0 start, they lose their 4th in a row. Of course, their schedule is getting tougher. They lose to Boonville 28-58, but lose 4 in a row. So Osage kind of battling an identity crisis, trying to figure out what direction this program goes under first-year head coach Shannon Jolly.
I just talked with Shannon this week, and we were going over the numbers. Their last 3 teams they played are 15-3.
Yeah,
so that's a tough stretch.
Yeah, I mean, their schedule is getting tougher. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, so I think their schedule's actually coming back down to earth. They've got games coming up they can win. And this week's game, Southern Boone, is a team that's 2-4 as well. So they're fighting for playoff positioning now, which is freaking awesome that we're getting close to the playoffs.
Right.
And so right now, Eldon, Osage, and Southern Boone are all tied at 2-4. So they'll be, fighting for seeding. And hopefully in the first round of the playoffs, we'll get Eldon and Osage, so you can see that game on Lake TV. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and Versailles is 1-5, and they also have a couple games over their last couple weeks they could win. So it could get awful bunched up there in the Tri-County Conference. Now, as for Camdenton, they roll over Hillcrest, 54-9, and that was big. But what's even bigger is the matchup it sets up Friday night at their arch nemesis, the Lebanon Yellow Jackets, one of the top teams in the state, fresh off a 44-34 win against West Plains. West Plains' first loss of the season.
Wow,
And so Lebanon and Camdenton, this is a mean rivalry. We've had punches thrown after the game on the field in previous years by coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those rivalries that is heated, it's intense. The whole town is going to shut down in Lebanon Friday morning, and they're going to get ready for this game. So that'll be a fun one. As for Lake TV, we of course won't be covering Camdenton, but you can catch Coach Shore and Coach Jolly on our weekly coaches show with Uncle Chris. Okay, so high school football, great and dandy. A lot of people care even more about their Kansas City Chiefs or their NFL team. And the Chiefs, after a couple losses in a row, they get back on track. They beat the Eagles on Sunday, but it didn't necessarily look pretty for them. I wanted to correct last week. I said that Eric Bellamy, who's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, was the defensive coordinator. coordinator, which is Steve Spagnuolo. And who would blame me? It would appear that an offensive coordinator is calling the defensive plays for the Chiefs because this sets up a matchup Sunday night against the 3-1 Buffalo Bills. Chris, I have a few numbers for you about these two teams that I put together last night. This is pretty impressive. Okay, so Buffalo's defense, number 1 pass defense in the NFL, number 4 rush defense, number 1 in yards per game allowed, and number 1 in fewest points allowed per game. So let's look at the Chiefs defense. Number 27 pass defense, number 30 rush defense, 31st in yards allowed per game, 31st in points allowed per game.
How many teams are there?
32.
So that's almost the worst.
Almost dead last.
Yeah.
Offensively, though, the Chiefs 3rd in the NFL in yards per game. Buffalo is 6th. Chiefs are 3rd in points scored per game. Only problem is Buffalo is number 2. And then in turnover difference, this is a big stat. The Chiefs are -3, which is 27th. The Bills are +7, which is tied for 1st in the NFL. So that is going to be a game that right now it looks like the Chiefs are favored by 2.5 at Arrowhead. I don't think they're going to win. I think Buffalo is quickly turning into the most dangerous team in the NFL. I think they're going to go into Arrowhead and beat them. And if you go to our Facebook page, we'll ask for your score. There's a post, the Chiefs and Bills, you guess the final score. Who's ever closest is going to win a $100 gift card to Smokin' Jones. And you don't want to miss out. My man Michael, he does that barbecue right, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's really good. We had it at the Ozarks Amphitheater the other night when we had that pumpkin chunking thing. Oh, man, we were just fattening up on that, boy. That's right. That was good.
I'm still fattening up on that. I got it left.
Still got some at home. Yeah.
Days. All right, so you're probably excited about all the football success you've had. You win again this week. You're starting to run away with a little bit. 3 straight weeks, Uncle Chris has finished either first alone or tied for first, so he's got that extra bonus point. This week, Chris goes 10-6 with 11 points. I go 9-7 with 10 points. Ricky goes 9-7 with 10 points. And Andrew, he fell off the wagons because 8-8.
He was in first place.
Yeah, only has 8 points. So your updated standings, Uncle Chris, you're in first with 46 points. Andrew in second with 44, Ricky in third with 41, and I'm all by my lonesome with 40. The only reason I'm not in last is because Megan stopped doing picks the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so let's look at this week's picks. There's a lot of close games this week. Let's start with Thursday night, the Rams at the Seahawks.
Wow, and then that's basically a pick-em game. I'm going with the Rams.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Figured you would, yeah.
Jets and the Falcons.
I'm going with the Falcons.
I'm going with the Jets.
Wow.
I really was impressed what I saw last week from the Jets.
I
thought that they looked pretty solid, including their, as everyone loves, their rookie quarterback. Okay, Broncos and Steelers.
I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm going with the Steelers as well.
Okay.
Detroit and Minnesota.
I'm going Minnesota.
As well. We're similar. Green Bay and Cincinnati.
Packers.
Miami at Tampa Bay.
I'm going with the Bucks, and that's my bonus pick.
Me as well. Bucks bonus pick.
Wow, okay.
There wasn't many options this week for that. That was either that one or the Raiders over the Bears was really your only options.
Yeah.
Patriots over the Texans.
I'm going Patriots.
How about what they did? They almost beat Brady.
I know
and the
it.
Bucks.
I was really surprised, yeah.
So, I mean, kudos to Belichick and Mac Jones and what they were able to do. That was a great football game.
Yep, absolutely.
Saints over Washington.
I'm going Saints, but I'm a little nervous about that.
Philadelphia.
You going Saints too?
I'm going Saints.
Okay.
Yep. Philadelphia over Carolina.
I'm going Carolina. You're going Philly?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going. I like that Jalen Hurts, man. Tennessee over Jacksonville.
I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah, we'll get back on track. I'm going Raiders over Bears.
Me too.
Chargers over Browns.
Yeah, me too. But again, that's another one. I think the Browns could win that.
Well, of course, all those you could say that. Pick your team and pick your team.
I'm going
I
with
wouldn't be surprised if I lost
with the
that
Chargers.
one. Says that every one, so he could be like, "Well, I almost went that way."
If I won those 2 overtime games the first week.
Listen to this guy. All right, Cowboys over the Giants.
I'm going Cowboys.
Very good. Cardinals over the 49ers.
Cardinals.
Bills at the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs, but I don't feel good about it.
Of course you don't. Buffalo, and I do feel good about it. And I'm taking the Ravens over the Colts.
I'm taking Ravens.
So we had four different this week. We will look forward to that. Of course, lots coming up this weekend around the lake. It's the Osage Beach Fall Festival on Saturday at the Osage Beach City Park. Fall Harbor Hop this Saturday. Maybe your last opportunity to go bar hopping on the water. Be responsible if you do. Saturday and Sunday, Save Your Seat program at the Ozarks Amphitheater. Show up at 9. You could try out a seat in the amphitheater, and for $100, that'll be yours. You'll get first dibs at it, and you'll never pay more than the retail price for the ticket. You'll see Willie Boy there camping out Friday night after our football broadcast. One other huge event, I want to tell you about it, but I'm going to bring our friend Lynn Farrell in after this commercial break. She's going to tell us about the Classic Country Music Jamboree. Going to be pretty awesome. We'll be right back after this.
Hey guys, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Still standing here inside our new Sleep Solutions Gallery. You know, there's so much more to a good night's sleep than just a mattress or a pillow. Come here, Slumberland Sleep Solution Gallery, check it out. We've made mattress buying easy. We have our trained professionals to assist you, and we've got some great deals. Come see us, Slumberland, where we're bringing happy home.
And as we welcome you back, just like I promised on the front side of the break, my good friend Lynn Farrell with John Farrell Real Estate here to tell us more about this year's Classic Country Music Jamboree. And Lynn, this is something that you are very passionate about and has really just continued to grow. What can you tell me and everybody watching about the Country Music Jamboree?
Well, this is the 9th year for the Classic Country Jamboree. We'd done events before the Jamboree, but something just clicked here and we decided to do it about 9 years ago. And it grows bigger and better each year, and the entertainers and the musicians that come in just really get excited about coming in, being at the Campana Hall at the Lodge of the Four Seasons, because they're very good to us, and it's to preserve and promote traditional country music. That's what the Genuine Country Music Association was started for 12, 13 years ago.
And that's an organization you guys started, correct?
Well, my husband John and two of his music buddies, Brian Rigby, that was from Warsaw, and Tony Smith, that was a very popular musician. He and John performed with Monty Davidson years ago. They came up with the idea because you can't go anywhere anymore and hear traditional country music.
Right.
So they said, well, why don't we do this, put an organization together, and then we'll just do an event once or twice a year and give the money away that we raise. 3 years probably after it was started, John got the job of being president. Brad Rigby passed away. Tony's moved to another location. And so we moved into the Jamboree, which was the idea of my assistant Diane Holmquist back years ago when we went to a Christmas dinner at State Fair Community College, which I sat on the foundation board there and kind of their representative from the Lake of the Ozarks. So it just took off, and first year we raised $10,000, and last year with the pandemic we still raised $26,000.
Wow.
Which was less than the year before because we had to size down and space and things like that. But we gave State Fair Community College and LOSA each $13,000.
Wow, that's a big chunk of money, especially in a year where so many people were hurting, especially organizations like this. Okay, so we mentioned the Classic Country Music Jamboree. We haven't really told them what the event is going to entail. So what has happened over the last 8 years, and can we anticipate this year for this night on October 17th at the Lodge? Like, how does the night process work?
Well, it's an afternoon show.
Okay.
So we're busy gathering things for silent auction items, live auction items. We have Rebecca and Vic from Signature Signs making a quilt, and it's because it's a bicentennial year. It's a bicentennial quilt on Missouri that has all of the, like the bluebird, the mule, the dogwood, the arch, everything.
Yeah.
And then we've got a bicentennial flag coming that we're going to fly. So we're trying to lean that, and you know, with the times being what they are, we're going to be patriotic.
Yeah.
You know, last year we were patriotic. This year we're going to be even more so, going through stuff. So there's going to be a lot of patriotic theme to it. We have a great crew with our board of directors and people that sit on our committees. It's just going to be fabulous. The music, we've got Tony Booth coming in from Texas. He's one of the Texas entertainers, like the Ray Price, Johnny Bush, things like that. Ron and Leona Williams, she was raised at Vienna with a family that was musicians. Ron is just amazing singer. And then our daughter Alicia, who's just moved back from Tennessee, and come back to work with us in the John Farrell Real Estate Company. She'll be performing Bill Goofer Atterbury that was on the Ozark Opry. He'll be here. Larry Hurst from up in Raymore, phenomenal Marty Robbins type voice. And of course, our Dennis Stromat from Illinois, he does a lot of Cajun music, fiddle. So there's going to be a lot of different things to pull from, a lot of different styles. I
also see John Farrell's name on there.
John Farrell is the bass. He's the bass guitar and provides the bass for all of the musicians. We have a new drummer, Mark, and I can't pronounce his last name, so just Mark from Illinois. We've got Mike McGee that's coming in from Willard, Missouri. Daryl Cummings from Illinois. Just the music is just going to be fabulous.
Man, so many incredible names, and all for such a good cause. Like you said, this goes to the State Fair Community College Scholarship Fund or Endowment Fund, and then of course for LOSA, which is the Lake Ozark Soccer Association, and those are both so important. Okay, so this is going to be next Sunday on the 17th at 2 p.m. Lodge of Four Seasons. If they're watching, they want to get tickets or reach out and get involved in this incredible event. What else can you tell people out there?
Tickets can be purchased at our office at John Farrell Real Estate, or you can reach me on my cell phone, 573-216-2182. We want to let you know that all the veterans that will come in with a veteran, prove that they're a veteran, they get in free.
Oh, wow.
There's no charge for our veterans because we're so proud of what they've given to our country.
Wow, that's awesome. $40 for non-members, $30 for members. If you're a veteran, bring an ID card and prove that for free tickets. Well, Lynn, thank you so much. This is going to be an awesome event next Sunday on the 17th, 2 p.m. Make sure you reach out to her. Thank you for your time, my friend, and we will be right back to wrap up this week's show after this.
Week 7 of the high school football season is all about horses on Lake TV. The Mustangs and Pintos battle in their annual Tri-County Showdown as California travels to Eldon. Catch all the action live on all 5 Lake TV platforms. Tune in at 6:30 for the COMC pregame show. That starts at 6:30. Kickoff set for 7. This live high school football game of the week is brought to you by Central Ozarks Medical Center, Millard Family Chapels, Quick Car in Osage Beach, Hy-Vee, Osage Beach and Jefferson City, Crown Power and Equipment in Eldon, Cool Breeze Marine, The Lodge at Port Arrowhead, Mike Heitman State Farm Insurance, Central Bank Lake of the Ozarks, Ozark Homes, Our Veterinary, SRG Financial Advisors, Extensive Mobile Detailing, Sir Dyke Yamaha, New Spring Wellness Center, LakeExpo.com, and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Man, just love Lynn Farrell and her entire family and crew over there at the John Farrell Real Estate Team. Big shout out to Jonas, got us our office, of course. He's the man.
Love that guy. Justin's a great guy. The whole family, just great.
They are indeed, and you saw that football promo. We are so excited for another big one this Friday night. Also, look forward to this week's Community Spotlight with Uncle Chris. We have a pretty cool guest this week.
Yeah, we do. We try to rotate the local activities directors from the schools. So this week we've got on Tom Gwynn, the new activities director at Osage High School. He'll let us know what's going on over there in Indian Land.
Heck yeah, it's going to be a good one. Tom, really neat guy. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Loved having you. Big shout out to Jill Ray and her entire crew right here from Slumberland Furniture. Love our crew. Love this guy. Until next week, I'm Wild Will.